Hello and welcome to Coin Lady channel. XRP will completely wipe out its rivals. And the explanation for why is baffling to a lot of folks. I'm about to drop a hint on you. Using a widely disseminated ISO 20 or 22 document within the XRP community as proof. Let's tackle everything at once. Rohit Ku, as he is also known, is the only cryptocurrency named among the chips. OTGS. HTTP. He told me that Ripple was a combination of the Swift Fed wire and SIPL. In fact, reading the paper will reveal that Ripple is briefly mentioned with these mammoths. Ripple's website is a great resource for learning about everything that runs on the network, including institutions like Bank of America, which is a topic on which we could easily spend hours conversing. Many different banks and many other countries, however, are currently trying to leverage Ripple as a workaround to launch initiatives in this space. In addition, they have expanded into many different industries, some of which will use XRP. This makes sense. For the last time. Differences exist between XRP and Ripple. Of course, you all know that already. However, if you examine their international payment options, you'll see that many of them accept XRP, which is beautiful crypto liquidity. Given the prominence of the word crypto in the context, I infer that XRP is heavily involved. Only in the case of CBDCs do the particulars of its construction matter. However they do it, I think XRP might be at the center of it all, as it has been mostly disregarded in recent months. Since Ripple has gotten involved in this dispute, I've observed that less people are thinking about the particulars of the Ripple setup and the rails that have been developed for XRP, not only by Ripple but by a wide range of other people as well. How often, for instance, do people talk about NFTs on the XRP blockchain? I suppose they are, but not nearly as often as I had hoped. The SEC had already sued me, so this new suit seems to have been filed in part to manipulate me. As a result, people avoid discussing it in depth, and they haven't yet achieved that record-breaking level, in part due to SEQ. Otherwise, multiply that number by 3 and go on to the next step. These coins were all successful, much like Ethereum and Bitcoin. That's why we haven't witnessed all of the bull market's euphoria yet. But next year, I anticipate a return. Ripple's on-demand liquidity, which is implemented with XRP and RippleNet, is a prime illustration of this phenomenon. With the XRP army waiting patiently for a ruling on the lawsuit's underlying asset. Once the litigation is finally resolved, I anticipate that many of the XRP ledger's more fundamental features will once again become visible. Looking back a few years, we'll find that whenever we hit a new high, we made headlines because it was so unusual. That's because even while progress has slowed somewhat in the United States, the market I watch most closely for developments like these, the rest of the world is picking up speed. Most countries of the world do not put a stop to Ripple, the XRP ledger, XRP, or anything comparable. As of this writing, it has been renewed for a second time. Their findings, according to the Q4 2022 XRP Regions Report, this crypto-enabled, on-demand liquidity cross-border payment service has spread from its initial launch in France, Sweden, and Africa to about 40 more payout markets. Was probably shared around 3 days ago. Do you know how many countries this little start-up, as it is sometimes called, has already penetrated? Focus on the markets. That's one way in which they can legitimately differentiate themselves from nations. Again, depending on your perspective, Ripple's total XRP sales might be excellent or terrible. There were $226 million left over after subtracting the cost of acquisitions, down from $310 million the previous quarter. Once again, this is critically important since it means that, despite being a sidechain, more and more may be constructed on top of the XRP ledger. The initial phase of Paris's Ethereum virtual machine sidechain for the XRP ledger has been made public. This is done to make sure everything works together well. Amazing. Again, we've gone through how easy it is to get NFTs and other similar tokens to work with EVMs many times. Most public blockchains currently in existence. There is a provider that acts as an interoperability layer, which is analogous to Layer 0. Because of this, DeFi apps like Uniswap, Augur, and Compound may be deployed rapidly on the XRP ledger, which is a significant win for DevNet. We've already established that creating Bitcoin on the Harp ledger is really cheaper than, say, creating Bitcoin by using Bitcoin as an example. To use DeFi on the XRP ledger is not the same as utilizing an Ethereum-compatible sidechain. To briefly restate the point, simply said, this will pave the way for a plethora of brand new features. For developers, this is a dream come true because the XRP ledger is lightning fast, cheap, and sustainable. Ripple is one of the few cryptocurrency firms with sufficient funds and prepared to meet significant client demand in 2023, and it's also very easy to use and interesting to learn about. Continue with your hiring and investment plans to create a platform that will give traditional institutions secure access to crypto innovation on the XRP ledger. I'd like to know more about this platform they keep referring to. Since the XRP ledger may function as a platform unto itself, and since RippleNet incorporates an ADR that employs the XRP ledger, this is not news. Does Ripple's new platform serve as a one-stop shop for cryptocurrency for these traditional financial institutions? Right? Does that mean advanced rails or something else altogether? Can't they just say that because they've combined all the many technologies they own into one? What does it mean, exactly? These are all things that we have talked about extensively before. It's great to see the audio industry flourishing and forming new partnerships. Let me tell you a quick story as a conclusion. A claim has been made that the SEC is treating Ripple like a Ponzi scheme. In this account, a law professor insists that this need must be met in all circumstances. I'm now in Dubai to see some friends, and one thing I've noticed is that I'm often referred to as the XRP person, even though XRP is just one part of my investment portfolio. However, I also noticed that, despite all the media coverage treating XRP like a Ponzi scheme, none of them appear to know too much about it. Most people think that's terrible or they think that's garbage. To be honest, though, I don't think they know all that much about it. So that you can get some perspective, here is what happened. It's clear they had no idea what they were getting themselves into when they filed this case. In cases like the one against the library, where they can make a difference, it would have been simpler for them to keep fighting. Really. You have a far better shot at beating them. The way I see it, they're starting to second-guess themselves now that they've sparked all this trouble. In addition, while Ripple is seeking $1.3 billion in damages, many of these other claims will only cost around $100 million. However, you need to realize that we can't really accept the basic claim and the misleading information that is being circulated as conclusive proof since, as we also know, they had close relationships to Sam Bateman and Fried and FTX and had all the knowledge necessary to do so. I mean, why wouldn't they if it wasn't too late to additionally exactly determine that all that information was incorrect? Moreover, if we consider IP, we see that these individuals have been asking for rules for a very long period. Binsai also, I figuratively gave you the thumbs up. How insane! But, well, I thought I'd give you all a heads up that the scenery around here is only going to improve with time. With each iteration of hey, if there's anything, just let us know, they've gotten more and stronger on their requests for information. They're legal tender because they are officially recognized as money. Despite the fact that it has been sitting in a shallow fire for some time. Bear in mind that the XRP ledger is making progress and is probably the most undervalued cryptocurrency due to its cutting-edge technology. Still, you shouldn't discount how far they've come in the backyard. Personally, I think they're going to take over as soon as this case is closed again. Check out the numbers for kicks, okay? Examine the data. The number of countries or markets where OTL payouts are possible has increased to 40 from the initial 3 when the case began 2 years ago. Is it lost on you that this case dates back to the year 2022/23? 3 different marketplaces existed. We're in the home stretch now. Currently, they have 40 pay-up marketplaces, so you can imagine the amount of expansion taking place behind the scenes. Even if they don't know it, investors shouldn't bank on Ripple and XRP being around in 2020 after the company was sued. Actually, they've made a lot of headway, and things are really spiraling out of control up there, even though you can't see it. It's all over today. If you like my video, please hit the subscribe button. See you later, bye.